Be one of those sports that sought after sport.
Maybe I was probably 6 years old, and I still remember, I think it's not just the bat. Even if I would take my mom's purse and I just made it as a bat, anything in my hand was a bat. So I think that's what made my parents think that I had to get onto the sport. They've played a huge part, giving me what I want to do, giving me the time, and coming out there, dropping me to practice sessions 3 times a day, being there, my mom staying there. So I think it was a full-time job for her, and I think she sacrificed a lot, and I'm here probably because of all the sacrifice that they've done. The fact that I've been there and seen that, and I can draw some experience out of it, and just not under 19 or under 21 that I've played. I also played England when they tour, playing against them, the warm-up games, playing the World Presidents 11, Board Presidents 11, West Indies or Australia, New Zealand. So I've basically played them all. So I think just to know where international cricket is, I think just gives me the experience, and I know I can draw those experience when I go there. See, I think West Indies traveled to India sometime in 2003, and I think they had just started off then. And I remember playing them, and a Board Presidents 11, we won against them. And I saw them back after 3 years, and they were already world champions, and they were beating some of the best teams. So what I think is we can draw that experience and draw that inspiration, and I think we're capable of doing that, and that's where we are today. And we have really good players, and I think as a team, I think we have enough experience to pull the team through.
We used to play like cricket at home, beach cricket, house cricket, indoor cricket kind of thing, just at home, one bump cricket and stuff. But my dad was posted in Calcutta, so when I was there, we went to Vivekananda Park, and we heard that women play cricket there. So we went to check it out, and I started bowling in the nets, and then of course batting some. And then they said the West Bengal team was going for under 16 tournament, All India. So they selected me, and that's how it started. When you go for cricket coaching, you learn technique, left elbow up, and how to bowl the ball and stuff. But when you play gully cricket, that's where you know how do you score runs. So yes, the technique is there, but then the objective of a batsman is to score runs and for a bowler to take wickets. So that's something you can really see that in Dhoni. So he played a lot of tennis ball cricket or gully cricket, and he plays unconventional shots, and he's able to pick gaps and stuff. I think that's a lot due to gully cricket. She's very determined, so that determination is something I've learned from her, and that self-confidence. No matter what, she has that confidence and belief in herself, and I'm still developing that. It's come far, but still a ways to go. Yeah. What I feel is people think of sports as the first career. If you can't make it as a football player, if you can't make it as an ice hockey player, if you can't make it as a basketball player, then you focus on studies, and then goes. So I would like cricket to be one of those sports that sought after sport.
Maybe I was probably 6 years old, and I still remember, I think it's not just the bat. Even if I would take my mom's purse and I just made it as a bat, anything in my hand was a bat. So I think that's what made my parents think that I had to get onto the sport. They've played a huge part, giving me what I want to do, giving me the time, and coming out there, dropping me to practice sessions 3 times a day, being there, my mom staying there. So I think it was a full-time job for her, and I think she sacrificed a lot, and I'm here probably because of all the sacrifice that they've done. fact that I've been there and seen that, and I can draw some experience out of it. And just not under 19 or under 21 that I've played. I also played England when they tour, playing against them, the warm-up games, playing the World Presidents 11, both Presidents 11, West Indies or Australia, New Zealand. So I've basically played them all. So I think just to know where international cricket is, I think just gives me the experience, and I know I can draw those experience when I go there. See, I think West Indies traveled to India sometime in 2003, and I think they had just started off then. And I remember playing them, and a board Presidents 11, we won against them. And I saw them back after 3 years, and they were already world champions, and they were beating some of the best teams. So what I think is we can draw that experience and draw that inspiration, and I think we're capable of doing that, and that's where we are today. And we have really good players, and I think as a team, I think we have enough experience to pull the team through.
We used to play like cricket at home, beach cricket, house cricket, indoor cricket kind of thing, just at home, one bump cricket and stuff. But my dad was posted in Calcutta, so when I was there, we went to Vivekananda Park, and we heard that women play cricket there. So we went to check it out, and I started bowling in the nets, and then of course batting some. And then they said the West Bengal team was going for under 16 tournament, All India. So they selected me, and that's how it started. When you go for cricket coaching, you learn technique, left elbow up, and how to bowl the ball and stuff. But when you play gully cricket, that's where you know how do you score runs. So yes, the technique is there, but then the objective of a batsman is to score runs and for a bowler to take wickets. So that's something you can really see that in Dhoni. So he played a lot of tennis ball cricket or gully cricket, and he plays unconventional shots, and he's able to pick gaps and stuff. I think that's a lot due to gully cricket. She's very determined, so that determination is something I've learned from her, and that self-confidence. No matter what, she has that confidence and belief in herself, and I'm still developing that. It's come far, but still a ways to go. Yeah. What I feel is people think of sports as the first career. If you can't make it as a football player, if you can't make it as an ice hockey player, if you can't make it as a basketball player, then you focus on studies, and then goes. So I would like cricket to be one of those sports that sought after sport.
Maybe I was probably 6 years old, and I still remember, I think it's not just the bat. Even if I would take my mom's purse and I just made it as a bat, anything in my hand was a bat. So I think that's what made my parents think that I had to get onto the sport. They played a huge part, giving me what I want to do, giving me the time, and coming out there, dropping me to practice sessions 3 times a day, being there, my mom staying there. So I think it was a full-time job for her, and I think she sacrificed a lot, and I'm here probably because of all the sacrifice that they have done. The fact that I've been there and seen that, and I can draw some experience out of it, and just not under 19 or under 21 that I've played. I also played England when they tour, playing against them, the warm-up games, playing the World Presidents 11, both Presidents 11, West Indies or Australia, New Zealand. So I've basically played them all. So I think just to know where international cricket is, I think just gives me the experience, and I know I can draw those experience when I go there.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
It's you, late nights in the middle of June. Always been faking me out. Can't make you happier now.
Eyes, we come alive.
Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium for the fourth match, or make that the second match of the day. If you can't tell, it's a little bit hot and my brain is fried. Second match of the day, this one featuring the East versus the Southwest. East winning the toss and under really oppressive conditions, choosing to have a bat. Your batters are going to be Adia Rawat and Aparna Gurumurthy. New ball, bowler in hand, Kirtana Boya. Starting from the river end, the southern end of the ground. This match, in many ways, is a little bit anticlimactic given the match that was played this morning and the match that will be played tomorrow morning. What I mean by that is this match is featuring essentially the third place match. But what's important to know is that this match features two teams that have not yet won a game. And so just from the standpoint of not wanting to get through this entire weekend without a week without having won something, you know that both these teams will be very, very motivated to win. It's getting off the mark immediately with I'll tell you what, throwing the stumps down at the non-striker's end. A little bit casual coming down the wicket that time, Adi Rawat, and a direct hit. Asked a question or two, but it was umpire Jatin Carver who said, nope, not out. So starting out with a little excitement here. Look at this, the ball coming in. You'll see the replay here, stroked in the air. And the underhanded throw coming from mid-on. Direct hit, but they made it just safely. So off and running immediately. Good example of it here again. And lofted down the ground, underhand throw. That's a good look at it right there. But umpire Jatin Carver in the exact right place to make that decision. So one run already gone. This is now a second delivery that is whizzing by, passing the outside edge. We will get your score on the scoreboard as soon as we can. A couple of technical deficiencies, but for now, 2 balls bowled. First over being played or being bowled. Your batters are Adia Rawat and Aparna Gurumurthy. Adia Rawat 1 from 1 faced. Good swipe and a miss. Tell you what. Leaning forward, that's a good length to draw the batter forward. And the keeper is close enough, that's Hirani Singh Talan, close enough to the stumps, even though it's a pace bowler, that she almost had the opportunity to effect a stumping there. So 3 deliveries bowled, 1 run on the board. I think you'll see that this pair is going to be looking to get off to a good mark, or to a good start anyway. Dot ball as this ball is played into the covers. So again, the East and the Central make that the Southwest have both played 2 matches, and they're both with nothing in the win column from those 2 matches. but they'll be looking to hopefully get a good account for themselves in this last match that they'll be playing. I'll tell you what, it's a good delivery, bang on target, and Aparna Gurmurthy, unfortunately for her, will have to end her stay at the crease because Kirtana Boya has gone right through her, gets her reaching forward. I want to see what this ball does looking at the replay, but I think that goes past the inside edge, slower through the air, and she essentially plays down the wrong line. Ball, apparently, she might have been thinking that it would be swinging away. She played entirely outside the line of the ball. It came back in and snuck past the inside edge, takes out middle and leg. So 1 wicket down. Aparna Gurmurthy, unfortunately for her, loses her short stay at the crease. And with that fall of that wicket, that brings to the crease Hashini Karthikeyan. So all of a sudden, and you're down now to the last ball of over number 1. Really well here, starting out really well. And there's the indication from umpire Jatin Karveer, right arm over the wicket, looking to make sure that makes further inroads is what she'd be trying to do here. It's going to be a wide, and they scramble through for one ball. Obviously, the off-stump line to a lefty is opposite from the off-stump line to a righty. This ball probably would have been a good ball to a right-handed batter. It is now Adi Rawat who's back on strike. And here is the last ball of over number 1. Lets it go outside the line of off-stump. Unfortunately for her, it's too far outside the line. And so a number of extras here, 3 in all in the last 2 deliveries. So she's taking a wicket, Kirtana Boya, but having a little bit of trouble finding the right line at this stage. So last ball still to come. And over, of course, is 6 legal deliveries. So this is the last of the deliveries, assuming it will be legal. Oh, stroke back to the bowler herself. You might hear that cheering. Those cheers are coming from the West team who won their game this morning and will be essentially in the final tomorrow against the team that played this morning, Central. In the meantime, that is the end of the over. 3 runs, make that 4 runs come from the over. At the end of 1, it's 4 for 1. Four for 1 is your score. And the opening bowler coming from the theater end is going to be Tia Chowdhury, 15 years old, from Houston. I'll say some more about her in just a minute. Floats this one up there to the left-hander, has her driving on the front foot. That's the length that you want to bowl. Want that batter to be coming forward. You're still inside the power play, of course. We talked earlier about where the batters are, or make that the fielders are during the power play. Only 2 allowed outside the 25-yard circle. As of right now, those 2 are relatively standard for an opening fast bowler. Deep third and a deep backward square leg. Right arm over the wicket, clip to that fielder, deep backward square leg. It's a good look at them from the camera angle right there. And all of a sudden, Hashini Karthikeyan is off the mark. Tia Chowdhury, again, from Houston area. Right arm, medium pacer, and right-handed batter. Favorite players are Smriti Mandhana and Jemima Rodriguez. And we've spoken a lot this entire week about multi-sport athletes, and Tia does qualify as such. She plays basketball, volleyball, track, tennis, and softball. This ball sprayed down the leg side. So to the extent that what you do in one sport can help you in others. Tia is a very, very talented and very multifaceted player. Opening the bowling here, 15-year-old, which is obviously relatively young. So not only is she playing in this tournament, the senior women's tournament, but she'll be playing in the U19 tournament later on this weekend. And that's a good length delivery, just right on, just pitching on the popping crease almost. And that drive doesn't really go anywhere. So a couple of times already where you've seen where she gets the ball in the right areas, landing it on essentially the popping crease, very full. Now she'll have to be careful with that length, because if it's just slightly shorter than that, then it becomes a half volley, and mid-on and mid-off are inside the circles, so you don't have the ability to defend that ball down the ground. Hammer it away, but straight to mid-off. Oh, a clean pickup there might have been interesting. So 1 run here. You're looking still for another 4 deliveries remaining in, another 2 deliveries remaining in over number 2. Hashini Karthikeyan, 1 from 2. Adia Rawat, 2 from 4. So these 2 came together when the score was 1. So a small partnership, 6 runs already coming from it. Good delivery. That line slanting across the left-hander. That is exactly what you want to do as a bowler, as a right-handed bowler. Bowling over the wicket, going across, creating that angle that makes it tricky or difficult. Here's a good angle for it. Oh, look at that. And not only is it the right length, it's drawing the batter forward, but it's the line for me that's important. That is just outside the line of off stump and moving away. So that's good bowling by Tia. And what I like to see as they run for a single here is that she is planting that front foot well behind the popping crease at the bowling end. I don't know if we can take another look at that, because she had a few issues earlier in the tournament bowling no balls, but she's obviously made the adjustment to where that front foot is well behind the line and behind the popping crease. So maybe if we can get a look at that later, that can be confirmed. But good bowling so far by Tia. End of over number 2, the score is 8 for 1. Here we go. Okay, so maybe take a good look at this. Watch the front foot. She overstepped a couple times, but there, look, well behind the line. And so Tia would have worked on that in the last couple of weeks or last couple of days, because she came in and she bowled, I think, 3 front foot no balls in the last couple of games that she played. And knowing that those tend to be very expensive and they cause problems for a number of reasons, obviously, but she's made the adjustment and also made that correction. Underhanded throw here, not going to be out. They sneak through, and that's just going to be a bye. Signaled here by umpire Jatin Karveer. And there you see the ball's big swipe and a miss, not able to make contact. Unhanded throw, maybe a direct hit might have been tricky, but they get through without much fuss. And so another run. 9 runs on the board. Up those 9, 4 have been extras. So you're seeing here where a little bit of maybe a less than ideal start for the East. I'm sorry, for the Southwest. A few wides, and then that bye that just took place. So you want to cut down on those. Oh, knocked her over again. The second wicket goes down. Kirtana Boya takes another one. And all of a sudden, she's making it look very easy, full and straight, and a big drive. Again, look where this ball passes. My suspicion is that it passes past the inside edge again. Look at this, close to the stumps. And boy, it has to be said that that was a swipe across the line. Not the best of choices for shots for Adia Rawat. And she's looking to play that one to mid-wicket when she probably would have been better off playing it in the V. By the way, the expression the V, don't know how many people who don't know what that is. But if you draw a line from the stumps and then draw one to mid-off and draw another from the stumps to mid-on, that creates a shape in the shape of a V. And it's the safest way of playing. Essentially, you're playing with a straight bat if you keep it in that range. So the expression playing in the V essentially means that you're playing with a straight bat. This time, she was not playing in the V, Adia Rawat. She was playing square of the wicket, looking to play that one almost to either mid-wicket or square leg. And so you're going to want to make sure that you learn from that, because essentially going across the line in that way puts you in the position where you are hitting across a straight ball. And I'll say a little bit more about that in just a second. Dot ball here to start. The new batter is Leka Shetty. So back about that, if you think of a sport like baseball, the closest thing to cricket, baseball players essentially hit every ball across the line. The baseball swing is a cross-batted swing. And the best baseball players in the world are successful 40% of the time. So percentage-wise, it is to your disadvantage to hit cross-batted shots. You're much better off doing exactly what Leka Shetty just did there, is playing with a straight bat and getting it going right down the pitch. This one played now to mid-wicket. Diving attempt by the fielder at mid-wicket, can't get to it, so they'll get a couple of runs. So a long way to go here, but it appears as though Leka Shetty has the mentality that essentially you play with a straight bat if it's straight, and then if it offers you a chance to play a cross-batted shot, meaning a ball that's not on the stumps or that's bouncing too high, that's the time that you play your cross-batted shots. And so, good bowling here. Oh, and knocked over again, a third wicket, all three bowled by Kitana Boya. If you can believe it, she is running through the top of this lineup, as they say, like a hot knife through butter. A big swipe across the line again, it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, that is being played to mid-wicket, when really what is called for is that you're playing right back down the pitch in the V. If you're not playing it in the V, then unfortunately you're at the mercy of how lucky you are if you have. And that is the last ball of the over. My goodness, what a brilliant spell of bowling so far by Kirtana Boya. 2 wickets in over number 2 for her. And all of a sudden, the East, having chosen to bat, are absolutely wobbling. 3 wickets for Kirtana Boya. And the Southwest team is 11 for 3. Make that the East team is 11 for 3. Punch down the ground. This is a good start to the over. Tia Chowdhury, I talked about fielders at mid-on and mid-off being inside the circle. Have to be very careful with your length. So you're either going to have to be just short of driving length, or if you're wanting to bowl full, it has to be all the way full, meaning like Yorker length, pitching on the popping crease. This one was neither. This is essentially landing right in the drive. You see it here. Yep, in fact, it was a low full toss. So probably trying to do the second of those 2 options that I just mentioned, and it was just punched down the ground for 4. That's a better length, and that keeps it right in the area where you have to play with a straight bat. And for me, that's a much better start for Tia Chowdhury. So, of course, still very young and still learning the craft, but bowling at this spot has taken a number of wickets in this tournament so far. Maybe look at her figures so far, full and driven straight. And just again, a lesson for the young players who are watching, it is much better to be 2 full than 2 straight. So even though that low full toss was put away down the ground, you want, for those deliveries, you want the batter to be coming forward. You don't want for them to be able to go back and play you square of the wicket. Especially with a new ball that is moving, you stand a better chance the fuller you bowl. Down the leg side, oh, half-hearted appeal, umpire Brian Kane, who you heard earlier and who was one half of the Brian and Brian show. This time in his role as umpire, shakes his head. I believe this would have just flicked the pad on the way through. Again, right arm over the wicket, so look at this. Yeah, that definitely came off the front pad. Absolutely no chance of that being given LBW, but also no chance of it going for a wide. Now this one does go for a wide, too far outside the line of off. And what you've seen so far from Tia Chowdhury, 5 runs from the over already, but 4 of those 4, 1 was a ball that was driven down the ground for 4, and then everything else has been on target, with the slight exception of the one that would have been just described as wide by umpire Brian Kane. But she's keeping it general in the right areas. Good length again. Quick single taken. Oh, fumbled at backward point. And they'll get a single. And no signal from umpire Brian Kane. So that obviously came off of the bat. So 1 ball remaining here in over number 4. T. Chowdhury, 10 runs conceded already from her 1.5 overs. And all of the damage is being done from, in terms of wickets, from Kirtana Boya. This is the last ball of over number 4. Defended solidly. Talk about playing in the V. That is exactly what you do. Play with a straight bat and just deadens that one right in front of her. So that is the end of the over. T. Chowdhury, 2 overs, none for 10. All the damage done from the other end in terms of wickets. Kirtana Boya, 2 overs, and she's already taken 3 for 6. So let's see what she's able to do here in her 3rd over. So your batters are Hashini, Karthikeyan, and Divyashree Mole. Kirtana Boya to continue. Driven down the ground. Wanted a single there, but not going to get it, I don't think. So Hashini, Karthikeyan, and Divyashree Mole, your 2 batters at the crease. Hashini started playing cricket in 2022. As this goes around the leg side, wanted to steal a single. It is a wide, so she'll have to re-bowl that. But Hashini started playing cricket in 2022. And she was a young lady then. She's still a young lady. She was 14 then. You can do the math to see how old she is now. And she's a left-handed batter, as you can tell. Favorite player is Rohit Sharma. And so she's going to need to channel Rohit Sharma here. 7 from 11 are her figures. Around the wicket to her. Clipped into the offside. Oh, going to be close. That's going to be out. Oh, my goodness. Suicidal run. It was played directly into the short mid-wicket area. And I don't think that was a run. It's straight to the fielder, right to her. She's only 15 yards away. Quick pickup and a throw. And my goodness, umpire Brian Kane at square leg did not have a very difficult decision. Did not have a very difficult decision to make here. Look at this again. Clipped straight to mid-wicket. Absolutely suicidal throw. And it's the captain, Pooja Shah, with the quick pickup and the throw. So 4 wickets are down. 3 of them easily going to Kirtana Boya because she clean bowled 3 top order batters. But this last one, boy, credit for this really has to go, unfortunately, to the batting side, because you don't hit the ball directly to the fielder and then take off running. Pooja Shah, one of the easier runouts that she will ever have to effect. And that is wicket number 4. And so things essentially are going very pear-shaped here for the East. Again, choosing to bat first. Remember that they won the toss and then chose to bat. And so it is now going to be Hashini Karthikeyan, who is on strike, who is joined at the wicket by a new batter. First delivery short in the air, doesn't quite carry to mid-wicket, but it would have put her heart in her mouth there for a minute. New batter. Confirm the new batter in second. Play it into the covers. Not going to run this time. And it has to be said that when you're in a situation that you've played 4 matches or 2 matches and you've lost all 2 or both, I should say, it puts you on the back foot and it makes you a little tentative and it probably makes you do things that you probably ordinarily would not do. And I think part of what that was seeing the reaction from those 2 runners just now, hitting the ball directly to mid-wicket and then running for a single when the mid-wicket fielder, the captain, is essentially 15 yards away from you. That's not necessarily the best of things that you should do. So a single that takes the score now to 19. And there you see on your screen, everyone is inside the circle. So that is a very aggressive field. Bottom left, you saw that. And maybe we'll get a look at that again because this is driven beautifully though. Through the left or through the outside. A long run. Is it going to get to the boundary? Yes, it does. So welcome runs at the back end of the over here. 23 for 4 is your score. That is a good looking shot through the covers. And more of what you'd want to see from these East batters. Front foot pointing toward the pitch of the ball. Not moving all the way across, but the ball was full enough that that wouldn't have made a difference. Goes all the way for 4. And so the end of the over happens in the way that you'd have liked it. It is 23 for 4 after 5. So Tia Chowdhury continuing, 23 for 4 after 5. This is her third. Oh, goes past the outside edge. That's a good ball. So your batters are Rishika Santosh Kumar, 1 from 3. Hashini Karthikeyan, 11 from 13. And this is going to be the 5th over. Make that the 6th over being bowled. Over number 5 was bowled by Kirtana Boya, bowling very well. Again, single-handedly almost wrecking the top order. Now Tia Chowdhury, they say sometimes great fast bowlers hunt in pairs. Well, this pair is doing very, very well at the top of this innings. Here's Tia Chowdhury again. Down the leg side, and boy, I have such a knack of jinxing the bowlers and the batters. My apologies, Tia. So where you are now, you're 1 delivery officially into over number 6. Tia Chowdhury again. Big swipe and a miss, but unfortunately she'll have to re-bowl this one as well. So your batter is Hashini Karthikeyan and Rishika Santosh Kumar. Rishika started playing cricket when she was 16, and so much like several of these other players, play multiple sports. This is the first person I've seen playing ultimate frisbee. This is one of the sports that Rishika does play. Stroked down the ground, quick single being taken, fires to the non-striker's end. It was in business there for a second, but she does get home without any fuss. And interestingly, her favorite cricketer is Jonty Rhodes. I don't know that there are very many people her age who would pick Jonty Rhodes as opposed to somebody more contemporary. But in terms of who her favorite influential people are, it would be her parents and then her brother, Arya Santosh Kumar. So, keeping it in the family, with Rishika Santosh Kumar. Now over to Hashini Karthikeyan around the leg side. So this bowling to a lefty and a righty causes issues for many. You have to switch your line to each one. And Tia Chowdhury just wanting to make sure that she gets the ball in the right areas here. Right arm over the wicket, floats this one up in the air, catchable and misjudged by mid-off. And she was in with a chance if she had the opportunity to make that catch. And then the throw to the non-striker's end is not going to be in time. I'll tell you what, had that been a direct hit, it could easily have been another wicket, because I think she would have been struggling there to get back to the other end, Rishika Santosh Kumar. But it does mean that you get another 2 runs, 6 runs from the over already, with 2 balls still to come, make that 3 balls still to come. In fact, I may just have gotten an extra run on my sheet here. Make that 5 runs from the over. This is a good ball going past the outside edge. Appeal for catch behind. Umpire Brian Kane, or maybe I should say umpire and commentator Brian Kane, shakes the head no. Taking a look at this again. This is a good angle. I've spoken about this before. Slanting across the left-hander. That angle is going to cause problems for left-handed batters. Maybe this one a touch wider than she would have wanted it. You want it to start on off stump, but the angle there is what creates the doubt. Floats this one up, and this is going to be another dot ball. More the length and the line that I was looking for there. And so Tia Chowdhury doing very well to be able to find the right line and the length. Maybe the length is a touch too full, but the line more than anything else is what you need to be able to take advantage of in these circumstances. And she's doing that so far here, Tia. This is the last ball of over number 6. Hammered and a diving stop at mid-off. That is the commitment that the bowlers want to see. That's how you back your bowler up in the field. And they'll get a single, but essentially she saved 3 runs. Try saying that fast 3 times. That is the end of over number 6. The power play is done. Scores 29 for 4. So new bowler here. Starting the non-power play overs, it is going to be Parita Singh, who is the bowler. Starts with a wide, but then comes back with a dot ball. Parita Singh. We talked earlier about the fact that you have the regulations are there are 14 people in the side. Any one of the 14 can bowl, but only 11 can bat. So Parita, this is clipped around the corner. A lot of work to do for the fielder running back from short, fine leg. That's Amruta Conreddy. Pulls it back just before the ropes, and they'll get a couple. So as I started saying, Parita Singh is one of the 14, which means that she can bowl, but she has not been designated as one of the players who is able to bat. So the only thing that she can do in this game is bowl and field. So starting out here with a wide and then a dot and then a couple of runs down the leg side. So that suggests that the line can stand to be improved a little bit. Going off the back foot, not able to make contact. And boy, it'd be wonderful to not have the chance to sit here and talk by myself all day, every day. But there are people around who are choosing to not communicate or join in the conversation. In the meantime, that is a good-looking shot. Ashini Karthikeyan skipping down, getting that ball in the half volley, going over the top of extra cover. It's the type of shot that I've seen Celeste Dutoit play. I don't know if you all know who Celeste Dutoit is. She's the women's cricket coordinator. Maybe at some point we can get her to come on the mic later on and talk a little about USA women's cricket. 37 for 4 is your score. 4 deliveries into over number 7. So the East again having won the toss and choosing to bowl first. I'm sorry, choosing to bat. Struggled a little bit. Lost 3 wickets in the first three overs and then lost 4 total inside the power play. But they're trying to mount a little bit of a comeback here. So 37 for 4 is what you're looking at now. A couple of balls remaining here in over number 8. Make that 3 balls remaining in over number 8. Bowler Parita Singh. Advancing down the track again. This time there's coverage down the ground. Remember, outside of the power play, you can have as many as 4 outside the circle. This one is played down to one of those fielders outside. Found it long off. And so 2 balls remaining here. Rishika Santosh Kumar, 2 from 5. Hashini Karthikeyan, 19 from 21. So she's done really well so far. Rishika back on strike. Appeal for a leg before. The finger is going up. Dead on target. Bang on target. I want to see that replay. That slow finger of death. That's not going to make her feel any more comfortable. Here we see on the replay. Very full. And this gives us a good look here. Playing across the line, hitting her on the back foot. For me, that is probably hitting the top of middle and leg. It appeared as though it pitched on leg stump and then straightened. So for me, that is hitting umpire Jatin Karveer, having a big, long think, and then that slow finger coming up. So half of the side is down, and maybe we'll get out of the sun early today. So at some point, we'll have some additional commentary here. For now, there's a number of people around who, without their efforts, this does not happen. And hopefully we'll be able to get one of those fielders or one of those people on today. Speaking of important people who are around, Mr. John Aaron, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to force you on the mic in a minute. So 1 ball remaining in over number 7. Parita Singh strikes in her first. In fact, that is the end of the over. So she's done. And then a successful first over. Score is 37 for 5. Reaching forward here, Hashini Karthikeyan. In fact, Aditi Chudasama is now at the wicket. Next delivery in the air, almost. It stayed in the air long enough. The keeper not quite able to get to that one. And all of a sudden gets us to the point where we have another dot ball, but it almost could have been a wicket. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of greatness. when you have the talent to not only be able to excel on the cricket field, but also have the presence of mind to be able to describe the match that is ongoing, I have to talk to you. Sasha Baban, am I right?
Yes.
Say hello to everybody, please.
Hi, everyone.
So, Sasha, you are, first of all, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sasha Baban. I'm a batting all-rounder from Orlando, Florida.
Batting all-rounder, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah,
Were you fielding on the boundary today?
I was, yes.
That was you. So you had probably 6 or 7 great sliding stops. You can probably go back and listen to the commentary. I'm not just saying this. I really did say it at the time. It was really good work.
Thank you.
But, in fact, I'll start there. How important is it to not only be a good batter and or a good bowler, but to be able to support your side in the field?
I would say it's extremely important. Everyone in the team, even if they don't bowl or they bat, they have to field. So I think that it's one of the biggest components of the game. Whether it's diving to stop a few runs or even just being in the field and encouraging your teammates, it's something that really goes a long way. Even when you might not think about it, but it really does go a long way. Because one good effort in the field brings the team morale up, and it's something that can change the course of the game. So,
absolutely lovely. So, now tell me, you're from Orlando, you said.
Yes.
What was your inspiration to get into cricket in the first place?
I started playing because of my dad. He grew up in India and played there, so I started because of him. He introduced me to the sport, so I would say he was definitely the biggest reason.
Your best moment ever on a cricket field?
I would say that my best moment was definitely when I made my debut for the United States in Trinidad a few weeks ago, actually, when we were playing the West Indies. We were around 20 for 5 in the 8th over, and that's when I went into bat. And obviously, it's a high-pressure situation, but I just made the most out of what I could have and just batted like any other day, and I just kept myself together, and it was just a really great moment for me.
Okay, give me some specifics. How much did you score? What did the team end up getting?
So we ended up scoring around 68 runs. We were all out, but I scored 22. And I was the highest run scorer for the day. So it was just a really memorable debut. And I think even though we lost that game, even though we did lose that game, in the field, like I was saying, our morale was up. We were encouraging each other. And that's just kind of the part of the game that when you're down and you bring everyone together, like there's a wicket or a good catch and everyone's just encouraging each other. It's one of the best things about the sport.
What other sports do you play?
So I weightlift for my school. I am.
Say more.
Yeah. So I'm what they call an Olympic weightlifter. So it's like we do events and we compete with other schools. I used to swim and I used to play tennis, but I quit a few years ago.
So weightlifting.
Yes.
Are we talking power weightlifting? Are we talking what exactly? What's the
so
concentration?
it's power weightlifting. I do just like to work out for fun, so I do just do workouts on my own. But for my school, there's 2 events. There's the clean and jerk, and then there's the bench press. So that's what I do. And yeah.
What do you bench press? I'm afraid to ask because I don't want it to be a number that's more than what I bench press.
The most I've ever bench pressed is 135. So yeah.
So essentially, you can bench press more than your own weight.
Yeah, I would say so. But it's definitely, there's a lot of room for improvement.
So you also mentioned, I think you called it Olympic weightlifting. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So tell me about the competitions there. And before you finish that answer, tell me about the extent to which weightlifting helps you on the cricket field.
I would say that it really has increased just my power, and especially in my batting, I'm able to strike the ball a lot cleaner and, get the boundaries when we need them. So it's definitely helped in just like the power aspect, which is, I think, really helpful. When it comes to bowling, it's definitely given me more strength to bowl faster. And then overall, just like fitness in general, just being quick in the field, just being able to move and get the ball from the boundary to the keeper. So I would say that's where it's helped me the most.
So you represented the U.S.
Yes.
you are, I'm assuming, a relatively young lady. So let's say you have another, I don't know, 15 years of cricket ahead of you, minimum.
Okay.
What do you do after that?
So I've always wanted to be a doctor. I'm currently I will be a senior in high school, but next year I want to be I'm going to college as a pre-med major. So
Okay, so solely very short. You have more than 15 years left. You're in high school still?
I am in high school. Yes, this is my last year of high school.
Okay, so then you have 20 years of cricket left.
Okay.
So you're going to finish a cricket career and then study medicine is what I hear you saying?
I don't know if it'll be like a one thing after the other. I'm trying to see if I can kind of do both at the same time. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, that was always something that I've been very interested and passionate about. So
Have you ever heard the name Myron Rolle? Does that name sound familiar at all?
yes, it does. Yeah.
Tell me why I just asked you that question.
Well, actually, I had this conversation with my dad a few weeks ago. He was
Really?
like, yeah, he was like,
Your dad is very smart, man.
he was like, a lot of people will tell you that you can't go to med school and play a sport at the same time. And honestly, that's just really what you put your mind to, you can do it. So if that's something you're interested, it'll be hard work. It's not that it won't be, but if you really want it, you can accomplish it. So we did talk about that a few weeks ago, and it's a big part about like all my college stuff coming up. So we'll see how that goes.
I will tell you from the standpoint of having had not first one and then two, my younger son is a year older than you.
Okay.
So he just finished high school, starting as a freshman at the University of San Francisco right now,
Okay.
and he's there on a soccer scholarship. Being able to play a sport and go to school at the same time is
Yeah.
challenging but rewarding.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's several, and I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I'm sure your dad sounds like he's a very smart man, so he would have told you something similar. But the lessons that you learn playing a sport, you can translate it to several different areas of your life.
Yeah.
So your motivation, number one, just seeing you as a cricketer on the field is good enough, but there's so much that you can learn from this sport that you'll be able to translate to other areas of your life. And so I'm fully in it. Not that you asked my opinion, but I am fully in favor of you being able to do both as long as you can.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. So before you go, first of all, are you on social media or anything? Do you allow anybody to follow you?
Yes,
Anything you want to shout out?
You can follow me on Instagram at Sasha Baban.
Okay, I'm sure if anybody wants to follow you, they're going to need to get a spelling on that last name because I've been mispronouncing it this entire week.
Okay, it's Vallaabhaneni.
Valabaneni.
Yes.
So you're on Instagram, and what else you want to shout out?
Honestly, that's the only platform I really use. So.
And then the very last thing, what do you want to say? I'm assuming your parents will be listening to this at some point. What do you want to say to them?
I just want to say the biggest thank you to my mom, my brother, and my dad for always supporting me and what I want to do and what my dreams are, and always, especially my dad, for traveling with me and making sure that I get to practice and honestly feeding me the balls and so I'm really thankful for them for all their support every step of the way.
Absolutely wonderful talking to you. If there are any of your other teammates who want to chat, I'll be here for the next, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, Sasha, really good meeting you.
Thank you.
All right. So that is Sasha Baban. Ladies and gentlemen, the talent that is at this cricket stadium does not just stop at the activity on the field. It's really wonderful to be able to talk to young women who are not just good athletes, but excellent citizens and really good at what they do. In the meantime, this game that we're watching, 49 for 5. We're at the 10 over break. Couple of minutes break, and they'll be right back. Back at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium into the second half of the first innings. Your bowler is going to be Kamakshi Senthil. Quick run here being taken, and they come back for a couple. As the first ball is clipped into the deep, they'll run 2. And so 5 wickets inside the first 10 overs is not something that you would be very happy about, especially after having chosen to bat first. But you're going to want to see how you can recover from that. And to the extent that you only have another 59 balls to face, tell yourself, you know what, we need to do what we can to get to about 100 runs. And so your batters are Aditi Chudasama on strike right now, the captain, 6 from 6. Hashini Karthikeyan, he's been there for a while, 25 from 35. And now you're going to see the stroke down the ground, but there's coverage down there. You're outside of the power play. So as many as 4 allowed outside the circle. As of right now, you have 2 long on and long off respectively. There's a deep mid-wicket. And in fact, mid-wicket is coming. They're still staying out there, but it is a left-hander. So Hashini Karthikeyan, obviously with the left-hander and the right-hander batting, the field has to switch every time you take an even number or an odd number of runs. Saitan Mahiyuni is actually the bowler. My apologies. I think earlier I may have said the wrong name, but in any event, she's bowled 1.3 overs, conceded 10 runs already. Aditi Chudasama, very good cricketer, very good batter, good all-rounder, and the captain of the side. And she's at the non-strikers end as of right now. Hashini Karthikeyan, you would think, after having been there the longest, maybe the one who has to take the responsibility of pushing things on. You're right now scoring at the rate of, after that dot ball, 4.95. And in fact, it's 4 deliveries that have been bowled so far. So you're scoring at the rate of 4.88 and over. That scoring rate translates to 98. Oh my goodness, stumping appeal. Came running down the track, missed the ball, but by the time that the stumping was being attempted, she managed to get that back foot behind the crease. But that's exactly what the right-handed finger spinner is trying to do. Get the ball to pitch and then leave the left-hander past the outside edge. So she's going to have to be very careful here, Hashini Karthikeyan. Next delivery, slow through the air. That's well bowled. Played to short mid-wicket for no run. So 1 ball remaining now in over number 11. Aditi Chudasama. In fact, that is the over. So end of the over. 4.73 runs and over is your scoring rate. Your score is 52 for 5. Over to Aditi Chudasama, who started playing cricket at age 11 during the 2015 World Cup. Very experienced, even though she's only been playing for just under 9 years. Actually, just over 9 years. But favorite cricketer is Virat Kohli. And she made her senior USA cricket debut as that's crunched into the offside. This is going to run away for 4, and it gets to the boundary now. So that is a shot of a player who has represented the U.S., made her cricket senior debut for the U.S. in L.A. in the America qualifiers a few years ago. And again, a very high-level cricketer. And not just a very high-level cricketer, but a wonderful young lady as well. In fact, I could have said that about most of these players. I say most. About all of these players. I've not met one yet who you've not been able to say that about. Down the ground here, down to long on, makes that just a single. So Aditi Chudasama looking now, I would think, to see how she can assist her teammate, Hashini Karthikeyan, in attempting to accelerate the run rate. Run rate as of right now, 4.96. So you're going to want to see somewhere around 100 and I'd say 10, 111 runs at a minimum. 6 and over from here gets you to 108. And if you have any extras like that one, that can get you a little bit further. So they had their foot around the necks of the East Southwest team, but all of a sudden they've gone maybe just a little bit to the point where they've taken their foot off the gas, and this is allowing the East to get back into the game. And this partnership is building. Nothing overly imposing as of yet, but you've gotten now to the point where runs are flowing a little bit more easily, and to whatever extent you can. This partnership now worth 21 from 28. So that tells you that at one point they were 23 for 4, and now all the way up to 59 for 5. Solid defensive shot here. Good ball, good flight to deliver from Kamakshi Senthil. Next delivery. Wide outside the line of off stump. Umpire Brian Kane indicating that she'll have to re-bowl that. So down now to the point where you're one ball away from the end of over number 12. I've said in the past that sometimes the back of the napkin calculation way of determining a first inning score is to double the score after 12 overs. Doesn't exactly work the same when they're 5 wickets down, but if you wanted to get a sense of approximately where they could end up, then 60 runs, doubling that would get you to exactly 120. I would think that that would be ideal, maybe even admirable. Having lost 5 wickets, that makes it a lot more difficult. But this pair at the wicket, Aditi Chudasama and Hashini Karthikeyan, are building something, and we'll see whether or not they can keep doing it. 61 for 5. So back to side Tanmaya Uni. 2 overs bowled so far. Big hit. How far does it get? Couple of bounces in front of long on, and they will just have to settle for 1. Side Tanmaya Uni. Born in Houston, but lives in Dallas. Right arm leg spinner. And she's been representing the U.S. women's cricket teams since January of 2022 and part of the national women's and U19s group since 2021. Tossed up very nicely, clipped around the corner though. Should just get 1 here. Tia Chowdhury in position to make sure that her fellow Texan doesn't, or she supports her fellow Texan by fielding well in the field. Represented the U19 women's team in the qualifiers, the T20 Women's World Cup in Johannesburg, South Africa, January of last year. And so she certainly is an experienced player. Looking for a second run, don't think it was ever on. And finally, being a leg spinner, not surprising to know that Shane Warne, the late Shane Warne, was one of her favorite cricketers. Also, Amelia Kerr is one of her favorites. 2 balls remaining here in over number 14, make that 13. That perfect length, tossed up, but she's able to draw the batter forward, reaching for that ball, but again, landing it right on the right length, so it's not overpitched and it's not short. This is really good bowling, and 1 ball now remaining here in over number 13. Looks for the big drive, misses out. A couple of dots and things here in over number 13. 3 coming from the over. After 13, 64 for 5 is your score. The final day of the final stage of the group matches here in the National Women's Tournament. This is pulled away into the gap for 4. This is a good confident stroke by Aditi Chudasama. Up now to 19 from 17. Plants the front foot, gets the ball probably on an off-stump line, but she pulls it into that gap between mid-on, make that long on and mid-wicket. And so now a good positive start to over number 14 by the captain. I think you'll get to the point where you'll see them starting to accelerate from here. Off the back foot, respects this ball that is a lot better, not quite as full and maybe just a touch wider, so she defends it into the covers for no run. Aditi Chudasama again now 19 from 18. This partnership starting to grow. This gets through though, and this is going to be a couple of runs at least. It might get to the boundary. A long run and it gets there now. So a couple of boundaries here for the captain, Aditi Chudasama. Partnership worth some 34 runs at this stage. 72 for 5 is where they are now. This pair came together when the score was 38 for 5. And 38 for 5 is definitely struggling, but 72 sounds a lot better. And you've gotten now to the point where you can start thinking in terms of a projection. You want to be, as I said, if you double the score after 12, you get to 120. And I would think if this pair stays there, then that number is realistic. So 72 for 5, you're down to the last 2 deliveries here in over number 14. But you do have 37 balls, make that 38 balls left. And you can make hay while the sun shines, if you will. This is punched to short mid-wicket, no run. And to the extent that you can continue doing that, then that can put you in a position where even though you had a rocky start, you can push on and get something relatively decent. Tapped around the corner, you hear the yeah, big call. Good, important to make those calls, and again, just for cricketers who are learning the game, the communication between these two batters is so important. So you tap that one around the corner, you get a quick run, and in fact that is the last ball. Over number 14 comes to an end. At the end of 14, the score is 73 for 5. So with 3 deliveries into over number 15, Sai Tanmahiyuni is bowling her last over. Bowling her full spell on the trot. Overs 9, 11, 13, and 15. This one gets through backward point. Should be just 2. That's Tia Chowdhury who does the work to pull this one back. So now a score of 77 for 5 translates to a scoring rate of 5.25. In the air, it's going to land safely, just out of reach of the bowler and the fielder, short mid-wicket. 5 from the over, last ball coming up. This is again the East against the Southwest in the last game of the, let's call it the group stages here in the National Championships. And this is patted back down the pitch for no run. 5 coming from the over. A really good last over bowled here by Sai Tenmahi-Ayuni. 18 runs conceded from her 4 overs bowled. So she's bowled very economically. 4.5 runs and over is what she has conceded. Overall run rate 5.2. Score is 78 for 5 after 15. So Pooja Shah, the captain, brings herself on. Oh, drill down the ground. Oh, tell you what, that falls in front of Tia Chowdhury on the boundary. I think that she may just have had a chance to catch that had she come forward. But she decides to play it safe. And the ball lands a couple of feet in front of her for a single. Pooja Shah, right arm pace bowler. And again, the captain of the side. Advancing down the track is Hashini Karthikeyan. So 2 balls into over number 16 and 2 singles taken. And so now your question is going to be, to what extent can you push on towards the back end of this innings and put something productive on the board other than, as of right now, the 104 that you're projected to score. Lovely looking shot. High front arm, drives it to extra cover, but no run there. Can't get it past the fielder at extra cover. So Pooja Shah, 16, or bowling over number 16. But importantly, you've gotten to the point where just now 3 delivers remaining in this over. Whipped around the corner, at least 3 runs here. You would think it would get to the boundary. In fact, they're running relatively slowly, so I don't think they'll get 3. Wanted to get a second run or third run there, Hashini. Not able to get it though. So maybe not exactly as committed to running or sprinting through for those runs. Now I will say again, it's extremely hot. Air temperature somewhere around 99 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's assume that's about 36, 37 degrees Celsius. And 2 balls now remaining in over number 16. Swipe and a miss. Might hear the screams or the noises coming from the shouts of encouragement coming from her teammates, Pooja Shah. And so now with 1 ball remaining here in over number 16, you're down to the last 25. What can you get from the last 25? Scoring at 8 runs and over from here gets you to 115. You would think with this pair being at the wicket, as long as they have, that they're set enough that you could potentially push towards something along those lines. That's a single that closes things out. Good one from the captain. 5 runs coming from that over. End of 16, 83 for 5. So Kirtana Boya wrecked the top of the lineup with her in her first spell. 3 for 12 are her figures. Coming back to bowl her last over. Top edge. Oh, almost carried to short third. I'll tell you what, loud cries of catch. I thought that it just carried to short third, but she was not able to get to it. Look at this replay. Top edged and just landing short maybe. And so they'll get a dot ball to start out here, but she almost had her 4th wicket. Kirtana Boya. Solid shot toward extra cover for 4. That is a good looking strike up and over the covers, and it made a good sound off the bat. So first outside edge is found, and the ball does not carry to cover or to backward to short third. And then this one is drilled over the top, a lovely looking shot to extra cover for another boundary. So Aditi Chudasama has actually surpassed the score of Hashini Kartikeyan. Aditi Chudasama now 36 from 33. Wanting a quick single that's taking a while and gone. A relatively slow pick up and throw, but still got it there in time to run out the runner coming from the opposite end. I think she was looking to steal a run there. I don't know that that was an accurate throw, but I don't know if it was an accurately judged run. Immediately calling for it and taking off and running, and there's the pickup and the throw, and it is umpire Brian Kane who says that this one is actually out. So she hit it directly to the fielder backward point. And I think you saw that earlier on, where the judgment of runs is not exactly at its best. And so partnership, they came together when the score was 38. So they put together a 50-run partnership, 49-run partnership anyway. But they lose the wicket. So Aditi Chudasama is still there. It is Hashini Kartikeyan who is run out. And it does mean that you'll have to get started over here with a brand new batter. This is going to be Taranam Chopra, who is on strike. Now Kirtana Boya has 3 balls remaining in her spell. Smashed in the air toward extra cover, but should just be a single. And I would think that they'd want Aditi Chudasama to be on strike, at least number 1, to handle Kirtana Boya, who has 2 balls left in a very dominant spell. And Aditi Chudasama is well set, and you'd think that she'd be more capable of handle Kirtana Boya. This ball is down the ground. Wanted a second run there. Not going to take it. So single means that there's just now 1 ball remaining. Let's see exactly what they're able to get done here from this last ball. Last ball of the spell for Kirtana Boya. In the air, just chipping it over the infield, not going to go very far. And all they'll get is that 1. In fact, it's Taranam Chopra who's played that shot into the deep. A single that closes things out in over number 17. 7 runs coming from the over. Scoring rate slowing down just a touch, 29 in the last 5, and your overall score is 90 for 6. Quick run taken from the very first delivery of over number 18. It's Pooja Shah who's brought herself back on. And they take a quick single. So it does mean now that you're down to the last 18 balls. Make that the last 17 after that single. So you don't have a lot of time to get something going. Here's Pooja Shah again. Played off the back foot. There's coverage out there. Sweeping on the outside. Coming back for the second. It's going to be close. But she does get there without much fuss. So Aditi Chudasama judging these runs well. 39 from 36. Tarnum Chopra is 3 from 3. This pair came together when the score was 87. So look how far that they can push on from here. In fact, 92 for 6. Thought they ran 2 on that. Apparently they didn't. Next delivery. Struck down the ground. This is just going to be straight to long off. Three deliveries into over number 18. You're looking at a score as of right now of about 106 if they maintain the exact run rate that they now have. Earlier I had suggested 8 runs and over. 8 runs and over from here only gets you to 113. So it's probably a little unrealistic for you to get to the number I was thinking before, about 120. But what is important is that you continue to chip on towards something aggressive, something that your bowlers can get the motivation to defend. You only have at this stage another 14 balls to go. Here's Pooja Shah again. Reaching out and cutting this one away. This is going to be a run out if it hits. Nowhere near, but tell you what, the bowler herself had continued down the wicket after delivering the ball, so no one was there to collect the throw at the non-striker's end. Had there been a fielder there, they easily could have cut this off and effected a run out. So look at this. Here's Pooja Shah halfway down the track after having delivered, so nobody's there to back up. Next delivery, looks to cut, misses. Dot ball here, and so a couple singles and then a dot, and that is the end of the over. 95 for 6 is your score after 18. So you're now into over number 19. Over number 19 being bowled here by Lasya Bandaru. Right arm over the wicket. Full and driven down the ground to long off. Lasya Bandaru, right arm pace bowler. looking to see if she can help close out what generally has been a decent bowling effort, but they started out on fire and sort of let the East team back into the attack. This is going in the air. Is it going to be caught? No. Not judged well by mid-off. Really short extra cover. Stays in the air for a very long time, but it's the captain herself who didn't quite judge that one the way she would have wanted to. Look at this. Peels a bit off the outside edge, looking to play it straight, and it comes off the outside edge and stays in the air for a while, but catching over your shoulder is never easy in cricket. Play it to square leg, should just be, in fact, they can come back for two here. Coming back for the second one, the throw coming into the keeper's end, and they'll get there relatively easily. Sasha Baban bowling again, over number 19. And so your sense is that they kept her back to bowl the death overs, but a couple of runs here on a couple of different occasions puts you in the position now where just with 2 balls remaining in this over, you're going to have to push dramatically toward anything other than about 110 or so runs. Last ball being signaled by the umpires to each other. And 100 runs exactly on the board. So let's put you in the position now where you can hopefully, from your standpoint, get something really productive off this last ball. Smashed, and it's going to be wide of extra cover, and it will run away for 4. This is a really quick outfield here in Grand Prairie, and that's just what the doctor ordered from that last ball from Taranum Chopra, playing it through the offside. Looking at this replay again. Smashes it on the up, not a half volley, and she advances down the track and plays it wide enough that long off could not get across in time to stop it, and it runs away down the hill for 4. So welcome boundary to close things out in over number 19. Going into the last over, how do you manufacture something here? Can you possibly get to 115? 104 is your score. Looking at the replay again, a step down the track and then going through extra cover. That's actually a very high class shot. It's not something easy. And it is now going to be Tia Chowdhury to come back and bowl the last over. In the air, stays in the air for a very long time. Oh, well, at all. It was very catchable. It landed probably, and then it certainly is the case that the captain thinks that she should now replace that fielder deep long on. And so Tia Chowdhury bowled the type of delivery you want to get in these circumstances. Want it to be full, and you want the players to be playing off the front foot. This is in the air coming toward mid-wicket, lands in front of the fielder at deep mid-wicket. Boy, Aditi Chudasama is going all out here. Everything is coming off the middle of the bat. She now gets up to 49 from 44. Taranum Chopra 9 from 7. One would think that the objective here is to get Aditi Chudasama back on strike. Number 1, because she's more likely to hit big, and then number 2, because she's 1 run away from a milestone. Here's Tia Chowdhury again. Very full down the ground. Should be 2. They may run for 2 here. They do come back for the second. Throw coming into the non-striker's end. So these are productive runs. Earlier I talked about possibly pushing to somewhere around 115. Well, they've gotten off to a good start here in this, the 20th over. Last 3 balls coming up. Tia Chowdhury with ball in hand. 3 overs, 3.3 overs, none for 23. Bowling here now to Taranum Chopra. It's a short mid-wicket, no run. That is well bowled. Absolute brilliant. Dot balls are the stuff that pressure is made of, and you want to be able to have these deliveries be very impactful. What she's done is limited the damage, and that would have frustrated both batters, especially, probably not the least, is Aditi Chudasama, who is on 49 from 44. Very full, smashed right back to the stumps. Oh, could easily have been a run out. It was smashed directly back onto the stumps. Now, obviously, if that flicks off the hand of the bowler, then it's a run out. Let's see, down the track, drills it straight. That's a good camera angle, so you can see that it did not flick off of the hand of the bowler. Had that come off the hand of the bowler and then hit the stumps, that technically would have been a run. Not technically, it would have actually been a run out, but no consequence if the ball just hits the stumps directly off the bat. Now here is Tia Chowdhury to Aditi Chudasama. Full toss in the air down the ground, wide off, mid off. Coming back for a second. They'll get there now, and Aditi Chudasama. And in fact, that is the last ball of the over and of the innings. She on that ball has gotten all the way to 50 from 51 from 45. Tarnum Chopra at 12 from 10. The East having won the toss and choosing to bowl. Here's a good shot of Aditi Chudasama, 51 from 45. The East, I said bowl, my apologies, choosing to bat. They've gotten all the way to where they've put a good total on the board. Wobbled tremendously to start. There you see on the scorecard, Adia Rawat, 2 from 5. Aparna Gurumurthy, none from 4. Hashini Karthikeyan, 29 from 45, steadied the ship. Lekha Shetty, 2 from 4. Divya Sri Mole, not. And then Rishika Santosh Kumar put on a mini partnership with Aditi Chudasama, but the big partnership there was when Rishika Santosh Kumar and Aditi Chudasama came to the wicket. And all of a sudden you get to the end, a few runs added toward the back end by Tarnum Chopra, 16 extras. And then the bowlers, I thought, all did well, particularly Kirtana Boya, 3 for 19 from 4 overs. And that puts you in the position where now you have 116 runs to defend. 115 rather. So your target coming back in is 115. About a 10-minute break for a changeover for the groundskeepers to do their thing. And we'll be right back to see whether or not the East can defend 115 runs. We'll be right back.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
It's you, late nights in the middle of June. You always been faking me out. Can't make you happier now.
Eyes, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection, like we're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That
again. This one is pulled, and this one should make it to the boundary. Yes, it does.
And beautifully held by the fielder at short mid wicket. Excellent take up.
This one is polished off the back foot through the covers, and it's 2 runs, and the USA have won. Again, this one is pulled, and this one should make it to the boundary. Yes, it does. The Benquet Channel, wonderful before seating.
The fielder at short mid wicket. Excellent take up.
This one is polished off the back foot through the covers, and it's 2 runs, and the USA have won.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime, you and
Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Complex. For the chase, two batters at the crease are going to be Artemis Downer and Shreya Arora. And the Southwest has the small matter of chasing down 115 runs for victory. Artemis Downer taking first strike here. The first delivery bowled by Lekha Shetty. It's going to be wide. And we're off and running, so a long way to go, but you like getting bonus runs anytime you can. And the first run here is a bonus. Slashed away down to deep third for a single. And as I said earlier on, it's always a wonderful thing when you have people who are not only brilliant cricketers on the field, but who are willing to step in and talk off of it. And I happen to be joined right here in the commentary area by Nikar Doshi.
Yep.
Did I nail it?
Yep.
Good afternoon, Nikar. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good.
So I'll ask you in a second. First, before we start talking about you, give me your thoughts about what you've seen in this match so far and who, I'm going to hold you to this prediction, who you predict is going to win this game.
That's a good question. I mean, it's going pretty well right now, but the pitch isn't really doing much.
Okay.
It could be, honestly, with the way the first game today was played, it could be either way at this rate. But
if you were not a cricketer, you'd be a politician, because that's about the market. So tell us about your cricketing career. Did I see somewhere that you've played in Australia for a very long time?
I did.
Tell me about that.
I played for Cricket New South Wales. I lived in Australia for 5 years, played cricket there. Actually was not supposed to play cricket. I only just started a couple years ago. My brother was started playing cricket in the family, and then my dad started playing, and I grew up in that environment, so I started playing cricket, and it went pretty well in Australia, so we just continued the journey.
So your brother played, your father played. What was it about your brother and father playing that convinced you to play?
I mean, it's mostly just a child, I grew up in that environment, that cricket was life. I grew up holding a bat, so
Sure.
Always loved batting. I used to be a pace bowler, but I just switched to leg spin. And
Hold that thought. I heard you just say that you used to be a pace bowler,
yes,
but you switched to leg spin.
yes.
Tell me about the decision to do that.
I mean, I'm an opening bat, so it just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't working out. The opening bowling, opening batting. I used to do that in Sydney. Oh.
That was a great piece of fielding there.
I think that was a great piece of fielding.
Brilliant piece of fielding.
Amazing.
Good camera work too. So
Clean
look
throw,
at this.
yeah.
Yeah, clean throw, and she just got over the line.
Lucky she slid her bat. Yeah.
Sliding your bat. Tell me about the importance of sliding your bat.
It's too important. It's way too important. Oh.
So we'll get back to that in just a second. But you're saying, okay, being a pace bowler and an opening batter is unsustainable.
I mean, for me particularly, anyone else can do it maybe. For me,
Okay.
but also my brother is also a leg spinner.
Okay.
And with his expertise and experience, I have a lot of resources to become a good leg spinner.
Okay.
If I put in the work. Obviously, leg spinning is an art. It's not something that comes overnight. So it's going to take years to build it. But I'm trying to work on that now.
Have you ever heard the name Michael Holding?
My dad has mentioned him before, but I'm not completely aware.
Okay, the first thing I need you to do when you leave here, this is lofted in the air. We'll land safely, I think. Yep, land safely. They'll get a single. First thing I need you to do when you leave here is go to YouTube and look up Michael Holding.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Michael Holding. I'm from Jamaica originally. Michael Holding is the best pace bowler who's ever come out of Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, I do know Michael Holding. Yes, I
And
do know
in
Michael
the
Holding.
70s and 80s, he was our quickest bowler.
Yes.
249 test wickets, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
Michael Holding met my son when my son used to play cricket. And he asked him, what do you do, bowl or bat? He said, I do both. He said, where do you bat in the lineup? He said, top order. He said, how do you bowl? Bowl pace. He said, switch to spin. Do you know why he said that? For exactly the same reason that you did.
Yeah.
Because it's extremely stressful on your body. Your
Yep,
body
yep.
takes a lot of stress That's a good piece of work in the outfield. Should just be 2 runs. Your body takes a lot of stress. Just pace bowling in and of itself is stressful. And then if you're going to, I know, let's say you're playing in a 50-over match, bowl 10 overs, maybe you bowl overs 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then come back and bowl 46, 48, and 50, and then turn around and open the batting.
Yep.
Next
100%,
to impossible.
100%.
So I think you made the right decision there.
Yeah.
Even though I'll also say one other thing. If you didn't know Michael Holding, I don't know if you'll know this name, Courtney Walsh. Have you heard that
100%.
name?
I do know.
All
yes.
right. Did you know that Courtney Walsh, before he became a pace bowler, used to be a leg spinner?
Really?
He did. So he made the switch the other direction from you.
Fair enough.
And he was a number 11 batter. Comfortably.
Oh.
In fact, the only reason he batted that high is that there's no number lower than 11. But he obviously started with the leg spin action, but then realized, you know what, I'm 6'5" and I'm pretty strong. Let me switch to pace.
Fair enough.
So back to you. Tell me about the difference between playing cricket in Australia and playing cricket here.
Oh, I've been asked this question a lot of times.
All right.
I think it's safe to say there's no comparison. It is, respectfully, I mean, it's not a hate to any side, but I do think that it's different comparison because in Australia, I grew up playing on turf. I grew up playing at grounds like Grand Prairie. Obviously, Grand Prairie is a beautiful ground to bat on and to play on. But I grew up playing on these grounds, you know, turf, spikes. Just the quality of cricket was at a different level. Here, coming here, I mean, the facilities aren't like as good, obviously, of course. But we do play a lot of Astro here, and we do sometimes get the opportunity to play on turf like we do right now at Nationals. But I think the level of cricket, and I think that the quality is also very different.
New South Wales, you said.
Yes.
Who is your favorite New South Wales Australian? Men or women?
Women.
No, I'm saying you can give me either a man or a woman.
I mean, I haven't been. I would say I do watch the Breakers, which is the New South Wales women's team.
Okay.
I do watch the Breakers. But I wouldn't say I have a favorite player. I just support New South Wales as a whole, obviously, as I grew up there.
Sure.
So.
Would you ever consider moving back there, or is America your home for now? By the way, where were you born?
I was born in North Carolina.
In North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
I moved to Australia for 5 years.
When did you move there?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
How old are you? Don't tell me how old you are. Are you in high school?
Yes,
gone.
I'm in high school.
Struck
good
straight
catch.
to extra cover. Artemis Downer, unfortunately, I think is going to be dismissed here. Oh, is that her? I believe
That's
that's Artemis.
Oh,
Shreya. Okay. Thank you. So Shreya unfortunately hits this one straight to extra cover, so she's gone. That is the first wicket that falls. Your score is 10 for 1. So back to you. You lived in North Carolina, moved when you were 18. I'm assuming you were
in 2018.
in 2018.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
In 2018, moved back here. So you moved there when you were high elementary, low junior
9
high.
years old, yes.
Okay, good. So from that standpoint, you lived here long enough to know what life in America is like.
Yes.
Like, go to Australia,
Yes.
find out what life in Australia is like. I'm going to put you on the spot and do not answer with a political answer.
I think I know this. I know the question.
Where do you prefer to live?
Oh no. I mean, I'm a little biased. I have to say I'm a little biased. I would say Australia.
Tell me why.
I feel like the lifestyles are very different. My family, we grew up in athletics and sports and fitness and nutrition, and you know, I feel like that lifestyle, like Aussie lifestyle, the Australian lifestyle, suited us better for that. I grew up like gym, cricket, you know, eating well, like good habits, just like that, working out. So I feel like that lifestyle was better suited to us than USA.
Fantastic. Now, you're in high school. What does post-high school look like for you?
That's a good question. Honestly, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest.
What year are you going into right now?
11th grade.
Okay.
But I am trying to do my best in cricket right now. So
Okay.
we're going day by day.
So you finished your sophomore year in high school,
Yes.
about to start your junior year.
Yes.
And to the extent that you can sort of predict, what do you think you're doing in terms of your cricket in 10 years?
I will definitely be playing cricket in 10 years.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Okay, sure,
That will
sure.
be decided.
Wait, where meaning what level or where meaning what country?
Both.
Very, very interesting. So you don't know whether or not you're going to be living here or in Australia or somewhere else, and you don't know what level you're going to be playing in. But there is a cricket match that's coming up that I'm assuming you know about, and I think you have your plans as to what you're going to do in this match. Tell me about the final tomorrow. And after you answer this question, I'm going to ask the same question of the person seated to your immediate right. So tell me about the final tomorrow, what your expectations are.
I think we approach it positively, like we've done the past 2 games. Today was not the best show of our team, but I think we did put in a lot of effort, just not enough to cross the line, which we will definitely work on tomorrow. I think we just approach it positively, just intent, a lot of intent, and just good energy, just going into it strong.
So that is a very good segue for me to ask the same question to the young lady seated to your immediate right. Young lady seated to her immediate right, would you please first introduce yourself and then answer the question I just asked?
Hi, my name's Ritu Singh. I'm captain of the central team right now. And as for your question about how we're feeling about the finals tomorrow, I think today was more about the opportunities and getting everybody a chance and experimenting with different bowling lineups and field placements and stuff. So I think all of that just set us up to play even better tomorrow. And even though this game today was very close despite our opportunities and mishaps on the field, I feel like that set us up really well for tomorrow, and that will come back a lot stronger tomorrow.
That's a very interesting point that I want to ask you some more questions on. First of all, you experimented with some things. You opened the bowling yourself, which you've not done so far this week. You bowled very well during the power play. If I remember correctly, the very first game, you didn't bring yourself on until the death overs.
Yes.
The second game, you brought yourself in probably over number 9 or something like that. Tell me why you opened the bowling today.
We wanted to try a spin and pace option and see how that goes, and I think it went very well. I mean, our pace and pace option was going very well, but now, like, in case something happens with the pace and pace tomorrow, at least we have a backup option for the opening overs. And yeah, that's about it, just trying a new option.
So I managed on Monday to absolutely jinx you. So I told myself I was not going to say anything else positive about you before you started doing something on the field. You are a naturally very aggressive player.
Yes.
How do you sort of gauge when to keep the ball on the ground, when to elevate it in the air?
It all depends on what's in my line of sight, my immediate line of sight. So as for today, I saw everybody was very close, and that if I played along the ground, there's a chance for them to dive and stop the ball. And I know my strength is very well power hitting, and that if I hit it flat over them, it'll easily go for 4, and if I middle it very well, it might even go for 6. So today I just felt like everybody was up in my face while batting, so I was like, you know what?
Ball.
I was like, you know what? I'm going over.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, does that mindset change at all when you have the pressure of the finals underway?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I absolutely trust the batters coming in after me to take on the job, and I feel like if I get bat long, that'll be great, but if I put up a good start, get momentum going, and get out, I feel like my team could carry it on from there too.
Very, very interesting. Different question, and I've not seen this person in a really long time. Tell me what your brother's doing these days.
My brother, well, he's not playing cricket much, but he actually joined the Army Reserves, and he is doing his Army training, and he has to serve 30 days every year. So he goes out every month or so, either for training or to serve. And apart from that, he's starting college this year, So this year he's starting computer science at the same college as me.
You don't know this. 2015, my son and her brother all played on the same cricket team.
Really?
Yeah.
We came up to St. Louis, and he played on the team with them. So we've known them
Yeah.
for, well, I've known your parents for longer, but I've
Yeah.
known you for 9 years. And that is
Yeah.
a lovely, lovely shot. Absolutely brilliant. For me, that's a better shot than lofted into mid-wicket, very first ball. But
Who did that? Who did that?
in all seriousness, but you know what? I don't know if you go back to listen to the broadcast from this morning when Brian Kane and I were talking, and we were talking about you and what and maybe we can answer. You can answer the same question also, but what we were asking, and we didn't know the answer to this question. All of the different sports that you play, and I mentioned that you are a tremendous gymnast in addition to doing everything else.
Like the agility, everything just plays a part in cricket. It really helps me in my fielding, but I feel like the lower body strength it takes to, jump on a trampoline or tumble down the
Interesting.
floor.
Okay.
That really helps me with my footwork and getting a good base for my shots.
Great shot.
Wow, that was a good shot.
She's hitting the ball
Yeah.
really, really well.
And I don't know if you noticed, but on that shot, you see how she used her hips to
Yes.
get that power through. I feel like gymnastics really helps me to get that power moving from my legs to my hips to my arms to the bat.
Tremendous, tremendous. So as far as you're concerned, young lady, you obviously you're in a sports family, play a bunch of other sports. What a catch! Struck very hard, but that is a good catch taken at short extra cover. That is Disha Dhingra. And she went down to get that one, probably 4 inches off the ground and to her left, but that is a very high-class catch. So, grew up in a sports family, and you, in fact, before we do that, let's look at this replay again. And that is a good catch.
that was a great
Absolutely
catch,
brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant. Now, tell me about the other sports that you play and to what extent they help you in cricket.
I have played almost most of the sports that are even possible to be played. From childhood,
Sure.
I grew up playing a lot of sports. My parents never finalized on cricket until I decided that I want to play cricket for the rest of my life.
Okay.
We kind of gave every sport an option. But currently, weightlifting has helped a lot with my movement, and also I go to the gym pretty often. I've been going to the gym since I was 12, so I've been working out. So right now I've been working on how to generate that power to get it through the ball, whether it's on the ground or in the air,
Sure.
whatever it is. I've been working on that recently to approach the game more aggressively, more positively. But yeah, weightlifting has helped me build a lot of power. And my agility training, and I've been doing a lot of like plyometrics to help my agility in the field and my movement, and being able to, move quick, being agile. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. What other sports do you play?
I play table tennis for hand-eye coordination. I play a lot of sports. Badminton I play for movement, being able to like just move quick to the shuttle. I played soccer, which helped me generate power from my legs. I swim. I swim a lot for recovery as well. After my gym sessions, I usually just go for swimming so I can recover well and also keep my body moving. What else is there?
Have you ever played netball?
Yes, actually, I did play for my school, yes.
You played netball for your school in Australia?
My school, yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. How about field hockey?
Field hockey, yes, I've played. I played with my mom, actually.
You've literally played every sport.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you played softball or baseball?
No, but I played T-ball in Australia, which is pretty similar.
Yes.
Yeah. Close enough.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ritu, I'm asking you again. Let's put you in the mind of the batter who just came in, Pooja Shah.
Okay.
So let's say instead of I'm sitting here talking to Pooja Shah
Yeah.
and it's Ritu Singh in the middle right now.
All right.
24 for 2, you have 1 from 2. You need another 91 runs in the next 90 balls. So right around a run a ball.
Yeah.
How are you approaching this chase from here?
as you said earlier, lots of ground shots that I didn't do today, but oh well. And I would just work on like either tapping and running, bringing everybody in, and then hitting through them after they broke up in, and just like having the field move around you so that the pressure's on the fielding, not me. And right now, like we have a fast bowler on, and I see that, or maybe trying to cut it through the gully and point fielder, because if it gets through them, that's 4, if not 2. And then they have a deep sweeper as well, so just tapping it to her, getting jogging ones over and over again until they feel the pressure. Just anything like that, you know, just keeping it light and easy, showing the fielding team that I'm relaxed, I'm doing well, I'm going to win this game.
Somebody has said that cricket is much more a mental sport than it is a physical sport.
That is absolutely correct.
You just described an approach that is 100% mental. There's all these different permutations that you're working out in your mind as you're looking at the field or you're deciding to play your shots. So my question then is, if you're encouraging somebody, that's a good looking shot for one. If you're encouraging somebody to come to play cricket, let's say one of your classmates, what grade are you in now, by the way?
I'm a freshman in college.
Oh my God. You're freshman in college? How
Yes.
old am I? Freshman in college. All right, so you're freshman, which college?
St. Louis University.
St. Louis University. So you're encouraging one of your teammates or one of your schoolmates to come play the sport. To what extent can you use the mental aspect of cricket as a selling point to somebody wanting to play it?
I think I can really use it as a mental aspect because from Americans, they obviously know baseball so well. And locally, like when I play softball or when I see baseball, you have the coach right outside the fence saying, you're pitching this, you're pitching that, you're doing this, you're doing that. And the coach is the one moving the field. The coach is the one handling everything. But in cricket, the coach can tell you before the game and after the game what to do. But during the game, it's all you. And if you're batting and your captain's not there, then it's definitely all you. So I think like showing the mental aspect of the game and how every person is controlling their factor of the game is a big selling point, because I know in baseball and softball, players much get frustrated saying that, oh, the coach told me to pitch a low ball, but I wanted to pitch a high one, and then I got hit for a home run, you know, like that happens so often. So, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So let me ask this, Ms. Doshi. You mentioned that you don't know whether or not you're going to be here or in Australia or some other country. What factors would determine where you go?
I think where cricket takes me, where I feel like it's working. Like my brother right now, he's playing in Australia. I feel like, I can't predict the future, obviously.
Sure.
I can't predict what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years, or anything down the road. I will be playing cricket. The question is where. And I think I'll just let the cricket take me more how I'm feeling and how I'm playing and, you know, just everything like that. Just more external factors and internal factors.
Wow. And so if it takes you to, I don't know, let's just say we can dream for a second and say that there is a WMLC that starts here 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Does that, like, you step onto this field and instead of a bunch of parents around watching, there are 4,000 people in the stands?
Right.
Does that sound like something that would attract you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So is your preference, are you going where cricket takes you, or are you deciding where to live and then explore your cricket options there?
I think it could be a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out.
Oh.
She
That's 3 for
is
Tisha.
taking several catches. Not often that you see a fielder on the infield take more catches than the keeper, but she's taken now 3 catches. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant work. So here's a replay again. Rita, talk us through this replay.
Yeah, I mean, she played not too far in the air, but slightly in the air. Either she should have gone way over the fielder or along the ground. That was sort of in between. It looked like she played early. I don't know if we're going to get a second replay, but it looked like she played ahead of her, not under the eyes. And, yeah, I mean, you had so many other gaps there, but I feel like she just played early and it just led her straight to Disha Dhingra again.
So, there's a replay again, so let's see.
Let's see. Yeah,
So
she
out in
played
front
ahead
of
of
her?
her. Yeah. She was
So-
well set for a nice ground cover drive, and I think she just reached out for a last moment. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It wasn't a bad shot. If she waited like a split second longer, it would have gone right past her, maybe along the ground, but unlucky.
That is very interesting. And by the way, I just heard something that I don't know that I've heard from you before. You're talking like a coach. You know that.
I actually started coaching younger kids in
Did
St. Louis
you?
recently, and I think coaching is the best way to learn. You reteach yourself everything that
Interesting
you've learned at
statements.
State
Okay.
one. So, yeah, and then not only that, but a year ago, my younger cousin started playing on my team, and so I've been.
Wait, who's your cousin?
Ayushi Singh. So she was on my interest team. She didn't make it, but
Okay.
on the nationals. But yeah, she just turned 15. She just started playing a year ago. I mean, when she moved to the U.S. from India, like she didn't even know how to throw 20 yards. Like, so I literally taught her. Me and my dad taught her everything from like square one, and I think that helped me. Like I was actually at a sidearm. I don't know if you noticed, but a year ago I had a really bad sidearm, and teaching her how not to have a sidearm, because I know that's a mistake I made. I actually ended up fixing it myself.
So sidearm meaning like throwing from the boundary or something like that?
Yeah, so like you throw it like this, and the release point is in line with your shoulder.
Okay.
And then that puts so much stress on your elbow and your shoulder, you're bound to get injuries like that. And so for infield, I think it's fine. In the ring, you can throw sidearm, it'll be quick right off the ground. But on the boundary, if you throw like that, you're bound to get shoulder injuries at some point. So then teaching her the steps, start down, go all the way back, up, and release over your head. I started she's a very visual learner, so then I would have to do it myself to teach her how to do it. And I think that really helped me fix myself too.
So a name that we called earlier, Courtney Walsh. Remember that name? You've known the word.
Yes.
Okay. Courtney Walsh bowled probably, he wasn't lightning, he probably bowled, I don't know, 85 or so miles an hour.
Yeah.
But he could not throw. So he'd either, throwing the ball from the boundary, he'd either bowl it in or he'd underarm it. Literally could not throw. For the first, this is not about me, but for the first several years that I played, I could easily throw from the boundary into the to the wicket until I lost the ability to throw because my shoulder was hurt so much. So literally now, if I'm throwing, it's one of these.
Yeah.
It literally is from down here. This, just doing this right now hurts. So talk about the importance of the mechanics, whether it be bowling or throwing, and how you sort of prevent yourself from getting injured.
So actually, when I started playing softball, my coach mentioned I was doing 50 billion things wrong with my throw. I kid you not. I was like, yeah, I'm a good fielder. He's going to love me. No, I go in and he's like, you're doing this wrong.
Yeah.
So when I went into softball, I was not using my hips on my throw.
Okay.
I was throwing below my shoulder, and I wasn't using my wrist at all. So because of those three factors, elbow and shoulder, was having so much stress on it, I can only throw 10 balls a game, and then I'd feel it. I'd start feeling in my shoulder. I'd feel tight, and then he walks me through. He's like, okay, first thing first, you're only using your shoulder. That's 10% of your body, right? If you think weight-wise, that's 10%, even less even.
Yeah.
So he taught me how to use my hips and, crow hop or just a really long step into your throw and using your lower body and weight transfer onto your front foot while you're throwing. So not only are you using your shoulders, then you're using your ankles, knees, hips, torso. You're using every part of your body in that throw. And then apart from that, he was like, well, you're throwing underneath your shoulder. It's going to go left or right. It's never going to go straight. You're throwing from here. If you go too far back, it's going out that way. If you go too far front, it's going that way. If you go overhand, it might bounce, but at least it's in the right line.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, apart from those mechanics, I mean, you have so many other things as when you hop, you should be releasing it either on your back or front foot, depending on the person you are or the type of stride you're laying out. If you're doing a crow hop, maybe you want to be on your back foot and then transfer into your throw. Or if you're just stepping, then you want your full body weight on that front foot while you're throwing. So just the small mechanics like that, I highly recommend looking at softball videos. I mean, look at Major League Baseball, look at college softball. I mean, the way they throw is just one thing that cricket really needs right now.
Who is the best fielding coach that you know? Whether it's somebody who you've coached under or you've been coached by, or somebody who you could learn from?
Oh
no.
Unlucky.
Absolutely hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
That is the end of Nitya.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you as a captain.
All right.
She's looking to go for a quick run, realizes the run isn't there, stops, look at the top of the screen. She stops, but then she slips. There, boom, slips and falls. As a captain, do you know what? Let's not affect the run out. She can regain her
I would
her
absolutely
position.
let her bat again because, she would have made it back, arguably. A good dive would have got her in. Not even a good dive. Maybe just a good effort back would have got her back in. And right now you got their captain out. You got their 2 top batters out. You're 3 wickets down. 30 after 7, they're going 5 and over, but you still have the game in your hand. I mean,
Same question, but it's tomorrow's match.
yeah. I don't think I would do it still. I mean,
You would still do it.
No, I don't think I'd do it.
Oh, you would not do it.
I
Okay.
think if it was even if it was Sins, Sins would sweep me everywhere.
Yeah.
I still feel like that's just, we all have been slipping today. I mean, we were talking
Sure.
about it to our team, we're sharing some of our shoes. We're sharing our spikes and stuff because we've all been slipping. And, I feel like unless she was all the way on the non-strikers end, I think if there was a good chance she would make it back, I would not call it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that, for me, is the difference between cricket and the other sports.
Yeah.
So I was umpiring a match in Austin. I live in Austin.
Yeah.
200 miles that way. And exact same situation. And the ball is played back to the bowler, and the fielder or the runner is running down the track, absolutely wipes out, and he's flat on his back halfway down. And the bowler has the ball in his hand. He just turns and walks past the stump that he could have run the guy out on.
Wow.
And just goes back to his mark. And he's just saying to his teammates, he slipped, he fell.
Yeah.
That's the difference between cricket and any other sport.
Yeah.
And obviously, if he affects the run out and then appeals and looks at me, my job is to say out.
Yeah.
But it's the spirit of the game that makes the fielding side decide whether or not they want to affect the run out.
Yeah. And I feel like winning off a wicket like that just wouldn't make me feel good,
Okay.
I want to win fair and square. I want to bowl that tighter ball, get her to pop it up. I want to get that bowled, get that LBW. I feel like that kind of run out just it just feels petty. It doesn't feel like the right way to do it.
That's an interesting word that you
Just imagine the other batters oh, if I didn't slip, we would have won this game. If somebody said that to me, I would have been yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have.
That's interesting. Now, the same question that I asked Miss Dolce. Let's say a couple of years from now, there is a WMLC, and you're playing for, I don't know, the St. Louis Americanettes. Calling a name. How much of a dream is that for you, and how much would you like that?
I think I'd like that a lot because right now there's really no franchise tournaments for us right now. I mean, we're trying to get into Fair Break and we're trying to get into CPL. And for most of us, it's not working out right now. There's a lot of mishaps. I mean, Fair Break was supposed to happen this year and then it didn't. And just all these other problems. I feel like if we had a US-based franchise tournament, then most of the girls here would be yes, there's more than just the national team here. There's more than just, the World Cup. Or there's more than just that. I can constantly play cricket and maybe even make a living off of it. Because, I mean, even the U.S. men's team, they're all part-timers. They're all not focused completely on cricket. They're all doing something else. And so I feel like USA is missing that extra bit of focus where cricketers can be yes, I can just focus on cricket and I can make money and I can live off of it. But right now, since our focus is drifted off cricket just slightly toward our work, toward earning money, toward trying to live, I think that's one of the reasons why cricket's being held back and is not growing as much as it should in the U.S.
You said so much that makes sense. I'd probably say it a lot stronger if I wasn't on the air. Let's just say I agree with you completely.
Okay.
And there's a lot that we can do different that we're not doing right now. Oh, did she almost got a fourth catch? But my dream is that we are sitting here covering a women's franchise tournament in this stadium or in some yet to be built stadium elsewhere in the country, because in this country, men and women, and in this country, don't tell me she got another one.
Wow.
Did she get another one? Did she get another one? Oh my goodness. That is 5 down. 4 of the 5 are catches by Disha Dingra. Look at this again.
Wow. Again, played slightly early.
Yes.
But it was well placed in my opinion. But she just, wow, that's a really good dive to get there.
Look at the replay. Look at this. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Have you ever seen a player get a player of the match just for the catches that they make in the field?
Well, one of us should.
Unbelievable. So 34 for 5 is your score. My goodness.
If I was Dish, I'd never switch my position again.
Stay right there. Do not move. Oh my goodness. This is outstanding. So Artemis Downer is 17 from 17. Your new batter is, one of you should be telling me this. Ramin.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So back to you, Miss Captain. You are now walking in. Actually, I'll ask Miss Doshi this. You've now walked in. Captain Ritu Singh was just dismissed courtesy of a brilliant catch. Been a short extra cover, would have been on the mid-wicket boundary. You are now looking at needing 6.7 runs and
10 throughout the game. So I think, guaranteed, I think she would have definitely in the situation.
Yep.
She would have capitalized on the bad balls or the whatever the bowling is. But I think we would carry that same.
Wow.
I think we would carry the same motivation and intent throughout to continue the high scoring overs, and I think that if we did that, we'd put pressure on the field, and just keep working at the same.
Look at this replay again. Underhanded throw. Let's see. Is this out? Is this out if it hits?
Yes.
Gone.
Oh, it's out.
Gone.
Yeah.
She's not even in the shot. Not even in the shot. Okay, so Ritu would have come on. She would have put together a decent innings.
Yeah.
20 off 5 balls with 4 fours. And caught on the boundary going for the 5th one. So, good positive start, but then what do you do after that? How do you keep it going?
I think it's all about the mindset, like you said. I've heard this from many coaches that cricket is played between the 2 ears.
Yep.
Mainly. So I think it's just a mental, I think it's just a mindset. If we approach it, it depends on how you approach it. Who is the batter in with me? How do we approach the game? How do we want to finish it off? Or how do we want to keep it going? Because I think consistency, if you just keep the runs flowing, just keep it consistent like Ritu would have. If we just keep that going, I think
Is she paying you?
I think that's just that's a good shot. Yeah.
So positive mindset, and as of this stage, it's another single. So you're now looking at 38 runs on the board. You need another 77, and you have 64 runs, or make that 64 balls in which to get them. So your required rate is sneaking upwards. It's now 7.2.
Yeah.
Are you still looking to run a ball, or starting to feel pressure? I think she was starting to feel pressure.
Yeah, I
because
think so.
that question just answered itself. I am an expert at that. I have to tell you all. I think the if you had an award for most wickets, it would probably go to me, because I get so many wickets every tournament I work. So are they doing the water break here early? Yes, they are taking the water break early. So tell you what, ladies, we're going to go silent for a minute or so. Thank you all so much. Oh my goodness, it's been such a good time talking to you all. And very honestly, I'm here the rest of the day, obviously. So if you all want to come back and have a couple of chats.
I'm staying here all day.
Oh, you're staying here?
Me
You
too.
stay exactly. Oh, you know what? Stay right where you are. I'm not getting rid of you. Stay where you are. I'm going to go grab a new water. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. And these two young ladies who were talking to me, who I thought were getting tired of talking, obviously have not, and they have graciously decided to stay here talking the rest of the time. And so, by the way, those of you who are listening, if you would like to have a question answered by any of these young ladies, please feel free to reach us on Twitter. Just go on to Twitter and tag at USA Cricket. Or if you want to tag me personally at BWA Consultants, you can happily do that. And I am sure that these two young ladies, in addition to being brilliant cricketers, would be more than happy to answer the question that you want to ask. So, you're halfway through the game, 39 runs on the board, 6 wickets down. So all of a sudden, this is getting more and more difficult. How are you approaching the chase from this point onward?
I mean, every time I go to chase, I always tell my team that we should plan on chasing it down in the 17th or 18th over, like never take it down to the last over. But with 6 wickets down, that might not be possible. So at this point, you just look for that 7 runs. Look for single, 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 double, like that. And just keep it going and keep making sure the scoreboard just keeps going. Because if it stops, it never picks up again. So just making sure that the singles just keep coming. Maybe in the death overs you can get 2-3 boundaries here and there. But at this point, I would just tell my partner or tell the 2 batters in, hey, just keep finding that single. Just keep finding that single. Even if you get a wide in the over, just keep looking for that single. Yeah.
I made, a point of mentioning was it this morning's game or yesterday evening's game? The games all run together for me. But I track the percentage of dot balls.
Yeah.
And whether it was this morning or it might have been yesterday evening's game, at a certain point, I think it was in the 11th over, 61% of the balls that were bowled were dots.
Yeah.
How much pressure does a team put on themselves by absorbing that many dot balls?
I think that's a very good point that USA in general, like our USA women's team in general, tends to play a lot of dot balls at the beginning. And so I've been trying to encourage our players, from the start. I'm like, hey, trust your batters at the end, just believe in your team and your batting strength. And not only your team coming behind it, but believe in yourself that if you push it, if you look around, you can push it through gaps, you can tap and run, you're fast enough. And if you keep talking to your partner, you guys will slowly build that coordination to snap and just take that run and look for the other singles and pushing for 2s. I mean, it's so important to keep the scoreboard running. I feel like yesterday that's one thing that our lower half did well. Ooh, yeah. All good fielding at the end. But yeah, waiting for the balls like this to put away. But since we need almost 8 and over, 7 to 8 or over, making sure that you get single, 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 and then a shot like that, And now you're at a free hit, so that's another opportunity for you. So just making sure the singles keep going around that. I think even though it's one thing we struggle with, we have the power hitting at the end of our lineup to make up for it, but I think that's one thing we need to work on for sure.
So I've now switched your position. You're now the captain of the team that's in the field. Your bowler has bowled 4 deliveries. The first 3 were wides. The 4th is a no ball. So still no legal deliveries, and she's about to bowl a free hit ball. What do you say to her?
I tell her to relax, focus on the basics. Where's your foot pointing? Where's your lead shoulder pointing? Where's your arm ending after you bowl the ball? The little things like that. And then I also tell her, trust your field. I mean, the ball will pop up like that. I mean, you have this short covers being an absolute demon and catching everything. So I would just tell her to take a deep breath, relax. We still have the game in hand. Make sure you take that pressure off of her.
By the way, so this is a free hit, so it's a drop, but it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't matter,
because it's a free hit, so.
No worries. Yeah. Honestly, if I was the field, I'd just let it drop.
Just let it,
let it fall. Yeah, just let it fall, pick it up, throw.
Yeah.
Because, that's one thing that happens a lot, actually. If it's a free hit and then the fielder goes for the ball, catches it weird or drops it and then injures something, catch comes later and then you drop it again, If it's a free hit, just let it go. Just save your hands. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of getting back into this game, you've gotten a little bit of a, let's call it a window in, because 8 runs have scored from 1 legal delivery, maybe from 2 legal deliveries. Now 8 from 3. You need 7 and over. Do you sense as a batter that, okay, she's under a bit of pressure? Do I try to charge her? Maybe do I try to take her on to help putting the pressure back on her?
In this scenario, if you go too hard, you might end up making a mistake again. So I would say keep looking for the ones and wait for the bad ball. I mean, if she bowled 2 or 3 over already this over, she'll bowl another one. So I'd say just wait for it. Keep finding that single. Keep rotating. Keep the momentum going. I mean, like these 2 dot balls that came in here. Or was this one wide? No, okay, yeah. So these 2 were dots. I mean, if you kept the singles going, then you're building off of what the bad start of the bowler and putting more pressure on her. But now that you gave her 2 dot balls, she's like, yeah, I'm getting that momentum back. I'm getting it back. And
oh, look at this. He's giving it.
yeah. And
How
just like
many
that.
times have you seen this where somebody starts with a shocker of an over
yeah.
and the one that they get on the stumps is the one that gets the wicket?
And the pressure releasing from the batters, I mean, those 2 dot balls were all the difference. You know, had they gotten 2 singles there, it might have been the difference between a wicket and a non-wicket.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's out.
Midland leg, I'm thinking. Top of Midland leg.
Definitely.
Wow.
Because now the bowler's like, yeah, I got it back. I got a wicket. I made up for it. So
if I'll exchange 8 runs for a wicket, I'll have that all day, every day.
exactly.
All out 80.
I also do think that swing, you might try and the thing is, if you connect it, that's good, but sometimes what you can do is just rotate strike. I think that would take a lot of pressure off if you just work it through the gaps first and then hit that on ball.
Exactly, you're exactly right.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And the insight that both of you are bringing is absolutely amazing to me. So you're down to the last, let's say, 1 ball remaining in over number 11. So you're down to the last 55 balls of the innings. Oh, she's human after all.
Yeah. No, but even her making that dive makes the divers be like, hey, maybe she got it. I'm not going to run. You
Cannot
know,
run on her.
Yeah, exactly.
So she starts out with a shocker of an over, but ends up only conceding 8 runs and getting a wicket.
Yeah.
So excellent stuff for Vidita. So 7.56 runs and over is what you need the rest of the way. You're scoring at 4.27. At what point, Captain, do you start thinking, okay, now I need to start doing this myself?
Honestly, the second we lose 3 wickets, you know, you should have one end going for it and the other end, you know, anchoring it in. Like, example for our morning game, you know, Afia was the one anchoring in, and then you had me on the other end, Geets on the other end, Chantel on the other end. And, you know, just making sure that yeah, definitely. So, yeah, just, like, making sure that the runs keep coming. This might be a turning point.
That is a free hit. This is Rishika. Replay should be coming shortly, and explain to people why this is a no ball. Oh. Why is that a no ball?
Straight over the shoulders. I mean, it's not at the point where it could be wide. Like, I know if it's above the shoulders, like way above the head, that's wide. But I think this one was close
if it
enough.
Bounces over the shoulder, it's a wide. Full toss above waist height is a no ball.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And on the free hit, it was a wide, so it's still a free hit.
Yeah. My bad.
Okay, everything I just said about you, I take it back.
A shot. Well played. Yeah.
Well, this game, you get the sense that there is going to be a swing one way or the other sometime soon, because in theory, the bowling side should have had it under control.
Yeah.
But they've looked a little ragged in the last couple of overs. So 50 runs on the board, 11.1 officially. Now, you know these young ladies certainly better than I do. Is Rishika one of the primary bowlers on the side?
I would, if she was on my team, I would probably use her more as a batter.
What, you're down here? This is the last game of the tournament.
Yeah.
Let's see if you just go have some fun.
Exactly. Bowling pretty good, you know, tight on the stumps. and only one went out to the deep, and that went straight to a fielder too. So it's not that bad of an over in the end.
Good looking shot here, clipped off the hips, one into the deep mid-wicket area. So 4 deliveries in, 4 official deliveries into the over. You're now looking at 51 runs on the board. 51 runs on the board means you need another 64 in 38 balls. Doable? Did I get that wrong? 64 from 8.2. 8, 6 is 48. 50 balls.
Yeah.
And I have a master's degree in finance.
It's definitely doable with a couple boundaries, but as a fielding team, you know, obviously all 4's on the boundary. Everybody's trying to those boundaries. So, I mean, just finding maybe an innovative shot, you know, forcing them to put one out at fine leg or forcing them to put a sweeper out. That might be the difference between getting those boundaries and not getting those boundaries.
So do you try a scoop shot? What do you do?
Even though I have like a sweep and a scoop shot and stuff, I'd probably just try to get through the offside. I mean, from the middle, I can tell you that this boundary just feels so big.
Goes all the way for 4.
Well, she didn't hit it through covers, but that's one way to put a fielder out there, I guess.
Look, you take the gift that you get.
Take the run.
Yeah.
Ball drifting down the leg side, helped off the hip for 4. So, 56 runs on the board. You are now down to the last 8 overs. 59 runs needed. 7.38 and over. At what point do you say, you know what, okay, let's stop experimenting and go back to our primary bowlers?
I think right now, since it's sort of like their end batters, you know, not they're really their best batters out there, you kind of have the all-rounders and the bowlers at the crease. Maybe you can try one more over, but I would definitely think the last 3 overs or the last 4 overs should be your best bowlers. You know, at least finish it off strong. You know, this is your last game of the tournament. You know, you want to finish on a strong note. You know, tell the girls, hey, next time we're coming back, you know? So I think maybe 1 or 2 more overs would be fine, but obviously that could also turn on them and the batters could get another couple free hits or a couple down leg hitting it out.
Sure.
So, I mean, just make sure that the game doesn't slip away. Keep talking to the bowlers. Keep telling them, hey, outside off, or hey, on the stumps, we have your protection back there.
Agree, disagree?
Agreed. Completely agree.
Well, you're not going to disagree with your captain right in front of me, so.
We still have got a game left.
And finals.
Yeah. Where did you want to bat tomorrow? No, so.
No comment.
I'll ask you this. You don't have to be too specific, but did you change your batting order around today?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, that's all you need to say.
Yeah, I mean, I kept the middle pretty much the same because you want to stabilize the innings with the middle 3 batters, but I gave Nikki a chance to open today, and she did very well. And, you know, the type of batting that we have, it's like we'll always get down to the 8th batter, and the runs will just keep coming because, like, every batter is just going all out or, like, anchoring around, and you'll always have somebody at the crease who's going hard at the ball, and they'll get a couple boundaries here and there, and they might get out, but that's completely okay because of the depth of our batting. And so I feel like it doesn't matter where you bat on our team because throughout the inning, the pace just stays the same. Sometimes we have a slow start, but then somewhere in the middle we'll make it up, and then it'll go well at the end.
That's interesting. So you've manufactured a lineup that sort of puts you in the mindset of starting relatively positively, accelerating past the 3, 4, 5, and then running through the tape with the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the type of batting lineup that we have, everybody just needs to contribute their 10, 20, 30 runs, and you just need that one person to get their 50 or the 1 or 2 people to get to 40s to like take on the inning and get us to like 130 plus.
What's a good score on this pitch if you bat?
If only Disha was there.
If only.
So I want to see a replay of this again because look at the slide, look at the non-striker's end on the second run. So first there's a drop, very catchable but not taken. But look at the slide, look at whether or not she slides the bat in time. Okay, that she does.
Yeah.
Looking at it live, I thought the bat was in the air, but she does slide it. How much difference does it make to drill those basics into your players? Because a couple of times this week I've seen a couple of players like the line is here and the bat is in the air as it crosses the line, and then you slide the bat.
I think it's really important because that can be the difference between out and not out so many times. And I think it's like simple things. Like I know today we had a couple warnings saying not to run on the pitch and stuff like that. So I think it's just the little things that might set a batter off. Like maybe if you're running on the pitch or you're not sliding your bat in properly and somebody comes and tells you that during the game, it gets in your head while you're batting. So making sure that reflexively you do those things right helps you build momentum and maybe have no negative things coming to you while you're batting, Yeah,
I also think it's really important. Sliding your bat is also one of the biggest things. One of the first things I learned when I started cricket in Sydney. We were taught with a pool noodle. The pool noodles. They put it there, and we used to run singles, doubles, and sliding your bat, getting under the pool noodle, sliding your bat all the way right into the crease, and then sprinting back up. So that's one thing we learned at a young age. So I think it's also a very, very important part that should be almost second nature to every batter, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Very interesting. Well, describe the pool noodle. I'm not visualizing that.
I don't know. I think it's called a pool noodle.
I mean, I know what a pool noodle is, but how is it used exactly?
So they put it at
Oh no.
It's gone.
Oh, shocker. Bishop.
Oh, no.
She has a fifer. She has a fifer of catches. She's the player of the match for me.
Oh.
Hits it early.
She knew
once
it.
again.
She knew.
Let's replay again. Yeah.
Yes.
A bit of a nothing shot.
Yeah.
She almost was caught between two minds, whether to defend it or whether to play an aggressive shot, and just ends up hitting up a practice. Anyway, you were saying the pool noodle.
Yes, so they put it at a height where it's around be a little higher. And we used to do a lot of fitness in Sydney, fitness training within our training sessions. And when you're sliding your bat, you have to get under the pool noodle and slide your bat right. We never went too close to the crease because that's actually saving you about 1 meter. If you stop and you get as low as you can, your legs is your momentum. You keep your momentum forward and push off your legs.
You and your bat that go under the pool noodle?
Yes,
okay, so essentially you're going low.
Yes,
okay,
so you're kind of going to the side, sliding your bat and pushing off.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Innovative. Wow. By the way, okay, where do you live?
Currently? North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Where exactly in North Carolina?
Cary, NC.
Okay. What's the weather like compared to here this time of the year?
It's very humid in NC. I think Ritu can agree with me as they did come for intra-regionals, which was the comp that we just completed a couple months ago, weeks ago, a month ago. Somewhere around that time. It's extremely humid. Not as hot. It does get in the 90s.
Okay.
Every now and then, but it gets extremely humid. So playing cricket there, I think Ritu can agree with me. It's very, very sweaty and sticky and muggy.
Sure.
Here, though, it's more of a dry heat. I think it's humid, but it's also extremely dry heat. It's more definitely very much dry. But it does get pretty hot here. I don't think I've ever been to Texas before, but it's definitely very different.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
I've been here a couple times, and every time I come here, I mean, somebody I know has a heat stroke. Somebody I know has a heat stroke. Last time I came to Dallas, I was the one who had a heat stroke, and there was sweat bubbles all over my skin. There were bumps all over my head, and that makes it so important to drink water and make sure you're hydrating and make sure you're eating right. Because I feel like in other states and other climates, it's high 80s, high 90s, and you're a bottle's fine, 2 bottles is fine. Here, no, I got my whole water jug. I drank it 3 times, and I'm still sweating buckets, and I'm probably still going to be so dehydrated tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, just eat.
My. Oh.
One way or another, that wasn't the shit thing.
What happens here? So you push it into the gap directly to the fielder.
Yeah. Nikki, you want to talk about the calling?
Loud calling. I mean, I don't think that was
definitely
sufficient.
No loud call.
No loud calling. I think there was a little bit of ball watching as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're 9 wickets down. As of this point, with 2 wickets in the over already.
Wow.
And the only run has been wide. Okay, Captain, you are now batting with the number 11. What do? Do you farm the strike and say, you know what, I'll do this myself?
I would still trust them to be able to take a single, but with the fact that there's been 4 dot balls in this over,
That's my point
maybe
exactly.
I would farm it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'd just try to hit in places where I can get 2s more than 1s.
Okay.
And yeah, I would, if they end up on strike, I'd say, hey, maybe tap and run. You know, like that's always an option. I mean, everybody here is going at such hard hands. Like say that same shot was played, but like with like
Little later.
50% less power.
Yep.
Dude, that was an easy single.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, good like communication in between the overs is so key. Like I'd always tell my batter, like my partner who's batting with me, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm sort of struggling right now. Maybe a tap and run will come your way. You know, like keep an eye, get good lead offs. Like you know, like come out of your crease a good 5 steps because I'm gonna tap and run sometime in this over.
I just heard you use a baseball or a softball phrase
Yes.
instead of where you wanted a cricket phrase. Don't think I didn't catch that.
Oh, you got me. Yeah, it's almost like an instinct at this point because my interest team is almost all softball girls. So I'd tell them, you know, find a gap and in that hole, or I'd say find a hole.
Yeah.
And that's where you find a place in between 3 fielders, and
Sure.
that's called a hole. And so even if you hit it and you miss hit it, it drops in the hole, and
Gotcha.
it's kind of like no man's land. And then other softball terms I use for them is like lead offs, like from the outside of like, you're not leading off, get to on it. And then they'll be like, yeah, I need to leave the crease early. And then like there's other terms like hook slide, you know, like hook slide is like where you slide around the base. So
Yes.
that would be like, I'd say that on the field and I'd tell them to hook slide around the ball. So if they're chasing the ball to the boundary, I know they have that ability. Oh! Wasn't Disha Dhingra, but what a catch.
Disha,
What a
but
catch,
Aparna
yeah. Beautiful
Gurmurthy
catch,
with a one-handed catch. I don't know that she meant it to be a one-handed catch, but that is the end of the game. So the game ends on a high for the East. They finally win a single game in the tournament.
Oh, what a catch.
Stunning. And so she misjudged it, but ends up snatching it with one hand.
Yeah.
The reaction shot in the back is priceless. I want to see that again if we can, because this is a stunning catch. Absolutely stunning. Didn't judge it well, but reaches one hand up and somehow the ball sticks in there. So that is excellent. So all the dress rehearsals are over with. Oh, here's a catch again. One of you talk me through what you see here.
All right.
Oh, outstanding.
Very good snatch by the hands, but if
Yes.
you look at her feet, she actually started backpedaling rather than turning to one
I
side.
think it was
and
slightly
opening
misjudged.
up. Yeah.
Slightly misjudged, but I think she definitely recovered. I think she stuck one hand out, so it would go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But the first 3 steps were sprinting in.
In,
and then,
exactly.
So,
So if
I
she
mean,
stays right where she was,
yeah.
she gets it chest high.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Her reaction
that
is
reminds me of
amazing.
another softball thing, and when the ball goes up, it's called first step back. Our coach used to yell at us all the time. As soon as the ball's hitting the air, first step back. That makes you take a step back, and then it makes you think,
Okay.
do I have to run in, run out? Because you can dive forwards, but
Sure,
it's really
sure.
hard to dive backwards. So he always used to tell us, first step back, first step back. And that's almost like built into me right now. Like every time I see the ball up, even if it's not even going near me, I'd take a step back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is the end of the innings. Just to go through the end of the match, let's go through the quick scorecard. Artemis Downer, 19 from 20. Shreya Aurora, 3 from 9. Lasya Banduru, 2 from 7. Pooja Shah, 2 from 7. Nithya Jalamuri, not. Anushka Bilanuka, not. Ramina Fan, 9. Kamakshi Pakam Senthil, 3. Sai Tanmayuni, 8. Hiranya Singh Talan, not. And Kartik Tia Chowdhury, not out, not. Just look at the catches. Look at from in the middle column. Catch Disha, catch Disha, catch Disha, catch Disha, cotton bowl Disha. Absolutely stunning effort in the field from Disha Dhingra. And where she did not complete a catch, there were enough people around to finish the job for her. Bowlers. 2 wickets each for Lekasheti, Dishadengra. Hard to believe she only got 2 wickets. And back to Shastri 2, Viditha Ramesh 2, and a couple of runouts. So that is the end of the day. Young ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to both of you. So go home, rest, not home. Go back to the hotel, rest, and I'll see you all for the final tomorrow morning. I'm assuming it's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I won't say who I'm rooting for, but let's just say I'm looking forward to a good match. How about that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, are either of you on social media? And if you are, do you want to promote so anybody can follow you?
No.
Well, you're
I'm
a
on
junior in high school.
Instagram. If you look up my name, you'll find it.
Rita Singh, Instagram. Lovely. Ladies, wonderful seeing both of you.
Thank you.